Hello friends, welcome back to Ferdinand tutorials. If you've ever submitted a research paper, a thesis or even an article and you're worried whether your abstract was strong enough, I want to tell you that you are not alone because abstract is the very first thing people read in your work before even deciding whether they will continue reading or they are going to skip that work. So in this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to write a clear, a compelling and a professional abstract, a step-by-step method. And I also want you to watch this video to the end so that you will be able to see the powerful template I'll be sharing so that you know how to write the right kind of abstract. To the number one question, which is a vital question here, is why does your abstract matter so much? Now, first off, begin to look at summarize your entire project, capture the reader's attention. Now work with me. Capture the reader's attention. Convince them that your work is worth reading. Now, work with me. We said, why does your abstract matter so much? And I gave these three reasons because it summarizes your entire project, it communicates that your work is worth reading, and it captures the reader's attention. Now, I want you to think of your abstract as your research elevator pitch. So, in just 150 to 250 words, you should state these three things. You should be able to capture these three important points in just 150 to 250 words. That's why I said that you should think of your abstract as your research elevator pitch. Have you heard of elevator pitch? And then you begin to see an individual. Okay, let's take for instance, I have a business idea. Then I meet an investor. What will I do to the investor? An investor that doesn't have time. So I'll be able to convince that investor within 45 seconds or 1 minute why my proposal or why that my business idea is worth investing. So if I convince that particular investor very well, what do you think? The investor will do what? Invest in my business. That's the same thing about what? Your research abstract. Think of it as an elevator pitch. In 150 words, you should be able to summarize your entire project. You should be able to convince that particular reader that your work is worth reading. You should also be able to capture that reader's attention, because if you don't have the attention, they are not going to read your work. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. Good. So that is the first question answered. Now, essential parts of your abstract. Now, I prepared a 5 essential parts of your abstract. That is, there are 5 things that your abstract must contain for it to be able to summarize your entire project, for it to be able to convince your reader that your work is worth reading, and for it to be able to capture the reader's attention. Now, the first part of it is what we call the background or problem. Now, when we are talking about background of the problem simply means, an individual trying to talk about, okay, what is the gap that my research is trying to fill? Background of the problem is not you go and copy introduction and paste. No. Background is just, in one word, you should be able to talk about, okay, this is the problem that my research is solving in your abstract. Are we together now? Now, after that, you begin to look at objectives. Now, objectives is, what you aim to achieve. What are your, procedure of achieving that your aim? What do you want to do? Are we together now? Now, after objectives, you look at your methodology. Now, in two sentences, you can be able to explain, how you aim to achieve this result. That's the method. What are the processes you are taking? What are the methodology? Are we together now? What are the methodologies? Is it going to be experiment? Are you going to conduct a survey? Are we together now? So you should be able to explain your methodology such that the individual reading that work will be like, okay, this is actionable, this is relatable. Now, the next thing is your results. Now, don't go and tell us every result you have in your work. No, tell us the most important result. Remember, every result is already in your paper, but this is an abstract. What we need is the most important result. So you should be able to tell us the most important result in your work. And then the 5th one is what we call your conclusion or significance of the study. Your conclusion on what? Or significance of the study. You already know, I've been talking about this almost in every of my research work, video that I've been uploading. When we're talking about conclusion or significant, we are looking at, okay, what is the usefulness of this you're studying? How does it benefit science? How does it benefit humanity? How do we, smile because this your work has been published? Are we together now? That's the what? Importance of your work. That's what we're looking at in what? Conclusion and significant. So for every of your abstract going forward, your abstracts must contain these 5 things: background of the problem, objectives, methodology, result, important result, not every result, the most important result, and then your conclusion or your what? Or your significance. Are we together now? Now, I want you also to look at the mistakes. Let's look at the common mistakes to avoid. Now, the first one is that you must avoid an abstract that is too long or too vague. Too long or too what? Or too vague. Avoid an abstract that is too long or too vague. Now, I want to also tell you something. This is a pro tip or a quick tip. Try as much as possible to write your abstract last. Let it be the last thing you will write in your work. Don't write abstract as the first or the second thing. No. Why I say that you should keep it as the last thing you will write is because in that scenario or in that particular condition, you would have already written everything, and you can be able to summarize a work that can be able to communicate what you have in mind, convince the reader that this particular work is worth reading. So write your abstract as the last thing. Are we there now? Let it be the last thing you will do in your work. I'm not saying you should put your abstract as the last page. No. Let it be the last thing you will ever do in your work. That is that. So the first one is, writing an abstract that is too long or too vague. Now, using too much jargon, as I have in my book, using too much jargon. Are we there now? Also, forgetting the resource section. Most people don't put this resource section, so do not forget it. And also, copy and pasting your introduction. Copy and paste your introduction. Don't do that. So I want you to avoid this mistake. Just to reiterate what we've been doing, I've been able to talk about why your abstract matters so much, and I'll be able to talk about the essential part of your abstract. So going forward, when you want to write your abstract must contain your background. From your background or your problem, you move on to the objective. Follow this line, follow this sequential approach. Don't jump from your background to the problem to the objective, from your objective to methodology, from methodology to result, from result to what? Conclusion or significant. Now follow this and you write a killer abstract that will convince the reader that, okay, this is the man that has the best work so far. So thank you for watching this video, and I know that this video has been able to give a meaning or add to your knowledge. The least you could do is to like this video so that YouTube can recommend this video to every other academic student out there, so that they can watch and also learn. And the next thing you do for me is to subscribe to the channel. There are a lot of you that are not subscribed to the channel. You watch this video and then you gain a lot and you refuse to subscribe. How do you expect this channel to grow? The more I see more people subscribe, the more I see more people comment, the more I am, alive again to, make more videos. So I want to hear from you in the comment section. Which of these particular parts of the abstract do you find difficult? Is it from the background or problem to methodology, conclusion, or result? Which one do you find, a bit difficult writing? Let me know in the comment section, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye for now.